Hey guys, I know I keep changing clothes. Trying to figure out what I want to do next as far as a video goes. Kind of thinking about going back to my homesteading board. Um, freaking kidding me. Now my phone's being stupid. Okay. I didn't think you had to pick him up. I didn't think Aaron had to pick him up. Oh. Okay then. Okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna start at the beginning here. I'm gonna go. I'm going back to the homestead beginnings. This one's called 10 Steps to Start Homesteading on the Cheap. So here we go, guys. Oh, come on. Really? What the heck? Okay, never mind, because that brought up something stupid, so and I don't know if I can get rid of it. I don't think I can. Okay, I guess we won't do that one. Backyard Homesteading Beginner's Guide. We'll just go with that one. That's a book. I can't, man. Yep, that's a book. Okay, well, let's see here. Okay, we're gonna go with this one. 29 practical ways to become more self-sufficient affordably and sustainably. Let's see what this brings up. Hey, look, it's something I can do. All right, here we go. And I know I changed clothes again. It's just my shirt. I wanted to wash my jacket, which I don't know if I'm going to get washed tonight, but okay, this is from Outdoor Happens, written by Paul Collings, December 9th, 2024. What does self-sufficiency mean to you? Good question. What does self-sufficiency mean to you? Leave a comment, guys. What does self-sufficiency mean to you guys? For some homesteaders, self-sufficiency is growing and raising food. That's part of it for us. For others, it's about getting your utilities off grid or surviving without store-bought products. That's the other part. Because eventually we're going to have to. So, in these times of hyperinflation, supply chain uncertainty, and questionable quality of many consumer products, learning how to become more self-sufficient has never been more pressing. Whether living in the city or the countryside, you can limit your dependency on the mass market economy. With your mindset on self-sufficiency and your do-it-yourself skills honed, you and your family can enjoy a healthier, more secure, and happier life. Bandit, you are not going out there. No, go away. Such a butt. We've assembled many tips to help you start your journey to self-sufficiency affordably, creatively, and sustainably. Let's get liberated. All right. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to break this down. Okay, never mind. I don't have to. All right. This might be a little bit long one, though. How to become more self-sufficient. There are many ways to become self-sufficient, and some of these methods will suit urban homes. Eat him. Not literally. Bandit! While others are more practical for rural homesteads. Bandit, shut up. Check out our self-sufficiency. Okay, never mind. Okay, they give budget, time, space, skills. You can implement these practices that we're going to talk about and systems immediately or gradually to harmonize with your unique circumstances and preferences. All right, number 1, start a food garden. It's usually the first step in homesteading and self-sufficiency is growing your own food. Nutritious vegetables and delicious fruit. You can grow organic produce around your backyard or balcony to meet your daily dietary needs. Get organic potting soil for planters or raised beds positioned in a sunny spot and cultivate your favorite staples. Potatoes, corn, beans, tomatoes. Tomatoes are one of my favorites. Garlic, onions, broccoli, salad greens, herbs, and garlic and raw honey make a very, very powerful medicinal supplement. Start your food garden using organic or heirloom seeds or seedlings. Follow the planting guidelines on the seed pack. Water your crops accordingly and don't forget to talk to them gently. 2. Capture rainwater in barrels. Why pay for water when you can get it for free from the clouds? Ensure your water security by harvesting rainwater from your rooftops. Get your gutters and downpipes to flow into large tanks or barrels. Now, what I might end up doing is I might end up buying or getting some of those blue food grade barrels and just let them collect the rainwater from our buildings. And then go through either boiling the water, distilling it, which would be harder, and or purifying it ourselves through, like the gravel, the sand, and the charcoal. So, because I don't know if I'm going to be, I don't know. It's going to be a money thing. We'll see. And the other thing, like digging a well, I don't know if we're going to be, I don't know. I just don't know if we're going to be able to, so. Fit the rainwater harvesting system with a series of filters. Utilize as much roof space as possible. Drink rainwater using potable water filters and a purifying UV light. Install a solar-powered pump. See, that is another possibility. I'm going to look into that. Irrigate your garden with overflow from the water tanks. Heat harvested rainwater in the sun or on a stove for hot showers. Alright, preserve your food. Stock your pantry with canned, fermented, dried, and frozen foods you grew and cooked. Get dozens of mason jars and a quality home pressure canner, along with a water bath canner. Dehydrate veggies and fruit, make beef jerky. Okay, now, my dehydrator is electric. One of the things I am getting out of our income taxes is the sun oven. That is an absolute that I'm getting, because that right there is completely off grid and it works without electricity. So, we'll learn how to ferment and pickle foods for a shelf life exceeding 12 months. Start canning your food. Use an off-grid chest freezer to keep fresh and cooked foods for a year or more. Consider installing a do-it-yourself root cellar for old-school off-grid food preservation. Now, we'll have our pantries out there, but we'll also have the basement up here. So, we will not need that root cellar. Remember, a self-sufficient kitchen needs a pantry full of preserved foods for making it through lean times. 4. Brew your beverages. Say goodbye to bought liquor and sodas. Brew homemade beer and cider. Make wine, kombucha, and kimchi. Or make it alcohol-free with lemonade and ginger beer. And what about growing your tea and coffee, climate permitting? You can do that in a greenhouse, and I'm planning on getting a coffee tree. And, we'll grow our herbs for the teas. And I'm planning on getting a cacao tree, which I know I can grow in a greenhouse. Our tropicals, subtropicals, that kind of thing. So, how about growing herbal teas like chamomile, dandelion, and ginger? Well, I have plenty of dandelion. Plus, one of the things I'd really like to do is I'd like to grow the pink ones, the pink dandelions. I think those are the Japanese ones. I don't know which ones those are. I think the Japanese are the white ones. But I think I'm going to go ahead and put those in my medicinal garden. So, naturally, your homestead will need at least one beer brewing book. I'm not growing beer. I'm not, no. That's just no. Tim is not going to be anywhere around, so. 5, keep bees. I'm planning on it, and I really would like to get into that this year, if I can. Don't be afraid of bees. They're nature's little magicians, helping plants propagate while they make ultra-healthy honey and multifunctional beeswax for your homemade, top-notch cosmetics, soaps, salves, and candles. Start with a single beehive and grow your apiary over time. Begin with a book on beekeeping, invest in a starter beehive, get a beehive smoker, and don't forget your beekeeper suit. If neighbors live close by, check if they're okay with your bee idea. That just makes me wonder if I should put them where I was planning on putting them. Oh, gosh. But I want them near the orchard. I could put them in the orchard, in the tree orchard out there. 6, raise poultry. The current price of eggs probably has you on a wishing list of a flock of chickens, right? Go on, get a few hens, build a coop, and start enjoying a fresh, free-range eggs every day. They'll fertilize your garden, keep the bugs at bay, and boost your compost pile. But remember, with chicken bedding, you have to compost that for 6 to 8 months before you can put it on your garden, because it will burn your plants. For more free, fresh eggs and meat, keep quail, ducks, geese, and turkeys. Check your local bylaws for rules on keeping backyard poultry. 7, breed edible fish. I'd like to. I don't know how well the pond thing's going to go. We'll see. And we only have the 5 acres, so I don't know. Imagine landing a feisty trout in your backyard pond. Perhaps you prefer tilapia or catfish or perch. With some help from fish breeding experts, you can have a sustainable protein source in your backyard. Fish thrive in an aquaponics system, which can integrate into a permaculture system to help fertilize food gardens. You can also raise freshwater shrimp and freshwater prawns in your backyard. Alright. Watch how aquaponics and permaculture can cut your food bill by 90%. 8, catch wild fish. If you live near the ocean, a lake, or a fast-flowing river, go fishing for food, assuming you haven't yet. You don't need to be a pro fisherman. Start small and learn about tackle, lures, and bait, and how to cast, catch, and gut fish. You can freeze, dry, and pickle fish for long-term storage. And there's lots of information on that as well. Get to know your local fishing community to discover what wild fish are biting near you. 9, go hunting. I am planning on getting a hunting license, at least for small game. Maybe deer, I don't know. If you're a crack shot and licensed to hunt, you can get fresh meat in the wild backcountry. Bring home elk, deer, boar, and pheasant. Preserve and store the meat long term via freezing, smoking, and drying. And there's also squirrel and, rabbit, obviously. So, but I might just raise meat rabbits. You can hunt with a rifle, a crossbow, or a primitive bow and arrow. Traps and snares can also be used to hunt game, although we don't encourage it. When crap hits the fan, being able to hunt wild animals may prove to be a lifesaver. 10. Forage for wild edibles. Expand your dietary and culinary horizons by foraging for wild edible plants. Acquaint your palate with the free indigenous plants in your area and your backyard. You may find elderberry flowers, berries, chanterelle mushrooms, and black-eyed Susans. And there's lots of information on that, and we'll be getting into that more too. There's also a book called The Forager's Harvest Bible. You can store wild edibles too, and foraging is also lots of fun. 11. Prepare natural medicines. Build your immune system and treat common ailments with naturopathic remedies, teas, tinctures, and salves you can make at home. Discover the healing powers of lavender, St. John's wort, and garlic. The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies is one that they recommend. They recommend a video on how to get started in herbalism. Homemade teas are also one of the best ways to relax. 12. Insulate your house. I'm gonna have to. Again, this is gonna. Doing all this, there's so much research in every single part of what we're doing. That's why I keep telling you guys, do your research. Because every single thing that goes into homesteading, there's a million different things that you can research to learn more. To be able to know what you're doing and do it right. Reduce the cost of heating and cooling your house by insulating it properly. You can use repurposed and recycled materials to save money on sealing up those breaches in home insulation. And they give an authorized guide to energy saving home insulation materials. And then an awesome video that's optimizing sun and wind for heating and cooling your house. An energy efficient climate controlled solution for your house can dramatically reduce energy costs and grid power dependence. 13. Make a rocket mass heater. Imagine a wood burning stove that uses just 10% of the wood a typical wood stove uses. How is this possible? Short answer. Thermal mass. A rocket mass heater uses clay and straw, cob, or concrete to build a solid mass around a pipe that channels heat from a fire throughout the mass and out a chimney super efficiently. The heat retained by the thermal mass lasts several hours after the fire goes out. A rocket mass heater provides cost-effective heat for warmth, cooking, and hot water. With basic building skills and inexpensive materials, you can make a rocket mass heater for your home. And then they give a video called How to Make a Rocket Mass Heater for Your Living Room Porch. 14. Start a compost pile. The secret to an abundant garden is soil health. There's no better way to build soil fertility than by regularly adding compost to replace the nutrients that go into the harvested produce. Sorry, guys. Okay. Start a compost pile in a sunny spot in your garden. Add as much organic material as possible to the compost pile. We've had excellent results covering up our compost pile with a massive tarp. It's an idea. Allow earthworms to make your compost pile their home. Turn your compost at least once a week. I have to remember that. That's what I wasn't doing. Hang on. And they give a title that says, here's a beginner's guide to composting to get you started. And a more detailed how-to compost article from the EPA with, YouTube has a wealth of black gold, yep, that's compost, video tutorials with tips and money-saving hacks. 15. Invest in a biogas digester. Technology can help process all your bio-waste in your backyard, making liquid fertilizer and biogas for cooking and home heating. It's called a biogas digester, and it creates a closed-loop waste management system for your home. A home biogas digester produces cooking gas in the form of methane, no more propane, and it saves water, lowers your utility bill, and reduces your gardening costs.
So excited. to watch more of that. We're getting into some of my favorite bits of the series.
You can safely process the following: pee and poop, kitchen scraps, and garden cuttings. And you can also watch Doug and Stacy. Awkward with Doug and Stacy, and they're talking about, their composting toilet and their composting system and what they do and that kind of thing. Kitchen scraps and garden cuttings. And you can look it up on YouTube and to see how a biogas digester can benefit a homestead. 16. Use solar power. Solar power costs continue decreasing year on year, making it affordable for most households. You can start producing electricity with an all-in-one solar generator or a scalable solar system. Conduct an energy audit on your appliances to determine how many watt hours, or WH, you need from a solar generator system. A portable solar generator will keep your essential electronics and lights running for several hours. A scalable solar system comprising solar panels, an MPPT charge controller, a battery bank, and an inverter can potentially supply all your electricity needs. Start small with an affordable solar setup, doubly if you've never invested in solar power or know what to expect. Buy a standalone solar water heater. That's one of the things I'm going to end up doing, is getting a solar water heater. Get answers to your questions from various solar suppliers before you buy. 17. Use wind power. Solar power is great, but what about nighttime and cloudy days? This limitation is where wind power comes in. With wind turbines, harnessing wind power is now accessible to homeowners, and the tech keeps getting more efficient. They give a video. It says to see ingenious new wind power tech for tiny homes, you can buy a domestic wind turbine today. You can also look that up on, YouTube and other things. So if windy days and nights are part of your life, consider putting that energy to good use. 18. Store firewood. Nothing beats wood for free energy. Go old school and store and dry cords of firewood under a roof or a tarp. Power your rocket mass heater or wood stove. Fuel your fire pit. Fire your water heater. A cordless electric chainsaw will give you the muscle to cut all the firewood you need. Your trusty truck will help you transport the timber from the forest to your yard. A splitting axe and splitting maul will size that firewood just right. Stack it. 19. Sew your clothing. Sew your clothing. Do you ever go to the store and find clothing that you want, or clothing that fits you perfectly? Rarely, right? It's time to mend and make your clothing. Get a sewing machine, an overlocker, and a cutting table. You can also learn to hand sew, you guys. It takes longer, but you know what? Without the power grids go down, how are you going to use a sewing machine unless you get an old treadle one? Come on. You can get clothing patterns for free. Order natural fabrics and yarns online. Don't forget to darn those socks and stitch up those tatty underwear. And bring tie-dyeing back. And you can also make your underwear. Get your material. Do-it-yourself clothing. Get the cut that fits and save the money. 20. Self-repair your machinery. Whether it's your truck, tractor, lawnmower, or washing machine, learn how to fix it yourself. Source spare parts online. Watch machine-specific YouTube do-it-yourself repair videos. Older machines that don't have fancy electronics and more straightforward to repair. Trade in that automatic cappuccino machine for a classic espresso mocha. Or a regular coffee maker. You don't need all that. 21. Get small electric vehicles. No. I don't. Okay. Maybe an electric bike, but the problem is power grids go down. What are you going to do? Get a bicycle. Start weaning your mobility off fossil fuels. Save your truck for the heavy lifting and run your light loads with a mini e-truck. Keep its battery fully charged by fitting a solar panel. Okay, that is a possibility. I do agree with that. But they're not the greatest, and they're not made the greatest. So, okay, and you can charge an e-bike via solar and wind power system. So, get an e-bike for running short distances to town and neighbors. 22. Optimize your communication tech. A permanent connection to the internet is a must-have for a self-sufficient home. Reliable communications technologies empower your operational efficiency. lifestyle, and security. Ensure your communications infrastructure gets equipped to function off-grid. Cell signal strength is about height and line of sight with a nearest cell tower. Boost your cell signal by installing an antenna mast and a signal booster. Not a bad idea. In the event of total grid failure, no electricity and no cell communication, stay in the loop with family and neighbors using a set of walkie-talkies. And I'll probably get some of those, even though I don't really care for them, but I will. 23. Homeschool your kids. Total reliance on the public school system to educate your kids will compromise your move towards self-reliance big time. You'll have to live near the school or spend a fortune sending them off to a private boarding school or deal with a bus. Homeschooling is the answer if you wish to save cash and get directly involved with your child's education, and it gives them a better education because straight up, the public school system sucks. Learn about the benefits and disadvantages of homeschooling. Plus, you'll have more time to teach them about homesteading, do-it-yourself, and self-reliance. And you can work homesteading into the curriculum. 24. Practice zero waste. You can introduce a zero-waste philosophy into your home to enhance your family's self-sufficiency. Adopting a mindset that sees nothing as trash nurtures mindfulness of the intrinsic value of everything we use. It's one of the reasons it's plastic, I know that, but I'm trying to integrate those into like a watering system for the garden beds. Because I'm trying to make it to where we don't have to rely on electricity to do that. Modern society is obsessed with disposability, a throwaway lifestyle. Hardly the way to sustainable living. And see, I've also gotten into paper plates, but the problem is, right now with our work schedules, it really does kind of suck to not have them. But grids go down. Obviously, who cares? We'll just have to make sure we have the water usage to be able to wash our dishes. Be the change, as they say. Avoid disposable packaging and repurpose it as much as possible. 25. Practice permaculture rather than monoculture. Self-sufficiency is all about living in nature with harmony. Permaculture is a set of designed principles that direct land and resource management towards a holistic emulation of natural ecosystems. Permaculture systems integrate soil, water, sun, plant, and animal resources. And they give a neat video called Introduction to Permaculture. Buy a good permaculture book to get you started. 26. Adopt a minimalist mindset. Living with less stuff will liberate you. In this age of accumulation and economic growth, stripping away the non-essential in your life is a defiant act and a firm step towards true self-sufficiency. Here we go with the research. Watch how Rob Greenfield lives radical minimalism to enjoy next-level self-sufficiency on a shoestring budget. I think I'm going to look that one up. For a self-sufficient family, minimalism may be a long shot, but a rule of thumb should be avoid buying unnecessary stuff. And I have gotten kind of bad about that, but I'm working towards getting away from that, so. 27. Collect books on self-sufficiency. I keep saying books, homesteading books. The knowledge in books on self-sufficiency is massive. And you can get some of it for free online at www.archive.org. Like this classic, The Complete Book of Self-Sufficiency by John Seymour. Or go to Amazon for modern self-sufficiency classics like Self-Sufficiency for the 21st Century by Dick and James Strawbridge. And sign up for free self-sufficiency material at permies.com. That's PERMIES.com. Download the PDF files and print them for posterity. And that's hard copy. "28. Entertain at home. Western society loves going out for entertainment, be it to movies, clubs, or restaurants. Cut ties with outsourced fun shops and party at home. Here are a few tried and trusted methods. Play board games. Archive your favorite movies and documentaries for family viewing. Build outdoor play areas for sport and relaxation. Build an outdoor bar with a pool table. That's not a bad idea for out there. Host dinner and dance parties and barbecue often. It's simple. Cut out the driving and make your homestead a destination for your tribe. Number 29, buy rural land. We've saved the big one for last. If you can master all the skills suggested above, you'll be ready to buy a piece of land where you can spread your self-sufficient wings. With a modest rural acreage, you can buy a dairy cow and goats for milk, butter, cream, yogurt, and cheese, raise a lamb for wool and meat, buy an energy-saving passive house. I could not kill the lamb. Sink a well, build a revenue-generating off-grid guest cabin on a budget, sell your produce, market your skills via blogging, vlogging, consulting, and writing books, get out of debt, create a like-minded community for skill sharing, crop bartering, and soul food. And that was it. Imagine, with your dedication to become self-sufficient, your land could supply all your shelter, food, water, electricity, income, and entertainment. Literally all of it. So, there you have it. That was 29 practical tips to self-sufficiency. To become more self-sufficient. So, I'm going to end this video with that question. What does self-sufficiency mean to you? Answer the question in the comments. I'm looking forward to hearing from 218 people. Different subscribers. Come on, guys. Challenge. What does self-sufficiency mean to you? And I will see you guys in the next video. Not sure I'm going to do another one tonight because it's 10:30. I didn't realize it was that late. Depends on how long it takes for this one to upload because it's over 30 minutes. So we'll see. But I will get off from here and I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember to check your subscriptions. Click on the notification bell. Click on all. And do your research, you guys. It's so important. And leave that comment. What does self-sufficiency mean to you? And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.